So I have always felt like I did not belong anywhere. And I still feel that to this day, and it finally has a word. You don't even know how liberated it feels for me to have a word. I've been called everything in the book, from Oreo to coconut and so much more. I think I have racial imposter syndrome, and now I will explain what I mean by that. Meu nome é Gina Luz, 𝘷𝘪𝘥𝘢 𝘓𝘠𝘦. A few days ago, I stumbled upon an article, and it was by, I think, Vice. It was called Racial Imposter Syndrome. It describes the feeling of insecurity and doubt when individuals' own sense of their racial or ethnic identity doesn't fit how others perceive them. A different Instagram post said the following: 1. A feeling of self doubt and fairness when it comes to a multiracial or mixed person doesn't believe that they belong to any of their racial identities. 2. A feeling of self doubt, a fakeness where one's internal racial identity doesn't match with others' perception of their racial identity. This can apply to monoracial people as well. They might belong to one race but can have multiple identities. Monoracial individuals, especially those who are from first generations, come from immigrant families and can have experiences as a racial imposter through language barriers, cultural conflicts, and interactions with people outside of their community. And suddenly it clicked. I had a story. I had a way to express myself. Because of that article, it described exactly me. I have multiple identities. To be very clear, I do not exactly want to name like all the countries where I am from because it's triggering to me. That is exactly what RIS is. It's triggering me because when people try to make me feel or say things that invalidate my experiences, it's not nice, and that is exactly what racial identity imposter entails. No, you're not X, or stop pretending, and it's really not nice. Had this done to me so many times that it's traumatic to name exactly where I am from. Although you could guess a little what my origin is, I will discuss the regions where I am from. I am multicultural. I'm here from European, Caribbean, and I'm Latina. Those are the communities that I see myself as being a part of. But the thing is, I've never been really been accepted by those communities, or I have not encountered a lot of those people that belong to that specific community to feel accepted. This is so messed up, really. Because you're thinking, probably right now, this is a black girl and how is she not accepted? Well, my story is the following: I am white and Indian socialized. Listen carefully. I am not saying that I am white or Indian, but I am socialized that way. I know it's so weird to say, but it is true. I was brought up in a very white school, and the only people of color were Indian people. They were the few ones that I was surrounded by, so that was my staple of reference. I went to those houses, I ate their Indian food, I listened to their music, and it went on until now. You might think, where are my parents in this? Well, my parents raised us without too much influences of our own cultures. So I was basically raised like a white girl with some sauce. I remember the first time that I had a non-white teacher from one of the countries I am from too, but she was Indian, not black. My teacher, Caribbean Indian teacher, shaped me, and it was the first time in my life as a little girl, I was 11, that I saw someone that looked like me being a teacher. Mind you, I didn't even know it was possible. So sad. It was such a weird thing to me. A darker woman that looked like me. She told me that I was smart. She told me I was beautiful, and I've never had a teacher said that to me. She made me feel like I was seen for the first time in my life. And I think that she didn't know what kind of influence she had on me. And on the other hand, I've always had white and Indian friends. I've never had Latino or black friends, which made it very, very, very hard to connect with that part of my heritage. The white community where I am apart from too doesn't accept me either because I'm not white. And the same holds for the Indian community. I really didn't grow up in a Black or Latino culture, so whenever I do encounter Black communities, they say to me how white I am. And I think in the end, with feeling like you do not belong anywhere or somewhere or with a group, is that you have to come to terms that you belong to yourself and that your experiences may not be the same as anyone else's, and that's okay. And with the identity part, I do feel like I have the right to identify myself as I want to, even though people may not see me as being a part of that community. It's for me to identify how I feel, and it's for me to recognize all the beautiful cultures that I am from too. And to be honest, I really hope that I am not the only one that is feeling like this. I hope that there are people that feel the exact way that I feel, so we can talk about it, so we can form a little community of people that feel exactly the way that I do. I felt after reading the article, and after I felt seeing so much recognition in those articles. So if you somehow recognize what I am saying, and if you maybe have the same experiences or a little bit different as being multicultural or mixed, multiracial, I would love to hear from you and from your experiences. And thank you for listening. I really appreciate it. Meu nome é Gina Luz, 𝘎𝘪𝘯𝘢 𝘓𝘦.